Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is an exciting video as this is my first video that I have done a test bench result using one of my systems that I had laying around. So the purpose of this video and the purpose of these tests, at least in this particular showcase, is to show you guys that you don't need the newest tech or hardware to play these games at an enjoyable frame rate, right? And something that you won't really notice unless for you as the user deem it not enjoyable on your end as the consumer, right, that enjoys these games. So really just wanted to show you guys that you don't need a whole lot to really game some of this stuff today, especially in the 1440p and 1080p category. You're going to get blown away by how well this 3070 Ti does, along with this 5600G and the AM4 category, right? 5600G is your 6-core CPU, right? And the 3070 Ti, it's not the best in the 30 series, but it's not the worst, right? So it's kind of mid-range. So the 3070 Ti honestly has been on sale for about $200 to $300 on the used market, and performs way better than the B580, and it has way better drivers and is more stable, and you won't have that issue of going back and forth, right? So if you're looking for a budget, I think these results will blow your mind away today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go over my test system, and I'll show you guys that here right now. Okay, so with the test bench shown there, right, 5600G paired with the 3070 Ti and only one stick of a 32 gig RAM stick, okay? You guys will be blown away by how well, like I said, if you're just trying to scrap things together to get into PC building or to get by and have a great experience. So we're going to start out with the 4K results with ray traced on and the different levels of DLSS shown here on the left side of the chart, and the averages down below. The color chart there is the salmon, pink or red, whatever you guys want to deem it, will be the low graphic settings. The medium graphic settings will be in the blue, and then the ultra settings, maxed out with everything, will be there in the green. And more details on the graphics setup for each of these levels will be down below in the description, so you guys can check it out and mirror those settings or tweak your system to get similar performance here on my end. So if for some reason you want it to be crazy like I do, right, you can use this setup here on a 4K monitor or TV or whatever you guys want to use. So looking at it at 4K with ray traced ultra performance and ultra settings, we're averaging at about 54 frames on there, with the medium to low settings closer to that 60 frame target that most people like to enjoy games today, if not all. Right? And then when we move down to performance levels here in DLSS, you see that we almost dropped down to 50% less performance in the ultra graphics settings down there. You're looking at 32 frames a second, along with the medium to low being at that 41 to 43 average there. So the closer we get down to better DLSS, right, with balance and quality, the more performance hit you'll get versus using performance and ultra performance DLSS settings on this 3070 Ti at least. So we go down to balance, we're at about just under 30 frames a second on ultra quality and medium quality, and then with low being over 30 frames. This is very similar to like your console time frame, right, but it's more stable because it's on a PC, not a console, so you won't really experience a lot of crazy stuff, which is why I like PC games. But going down to quality, the game becomes unplayable on all levels of graphics settings, no matter what it is that you do, right? So this is with ray traced on. Now, here is the settings with ray traced off and the different levels of DLSS performance, right? Showcasing NVIDIA's DLSS technology. Now, this isn't by ways sponsored by NVIDIA at all. Oh my gosh, if they did, I wouldn't be working right now. I'd be making so much more content and doing a lot more tests, as didn't realize how much testing was required just for one game. So that's why I was only able to put in one game. But this is the in-depth thing that I really wanted to show you guys. So check this out. 5600G 3070 Ti, we're getting over 102 frames in low settings at ultra performance and almost 100 frames at 99 with the medium preset. And then we're shooting over 86 frames on average in ultra settings using the ultra performance there at 4K. Then we've dropped down to DLSS performance. We are still over 60 frames with the ultra graphics quality setting there, and of course 97 to 102 frames in the low graphics settings with ray traced off. Now the thing that gets me though is that when you turn off ray traced, right, and we go down to these lower graphics settings, there is a cap that you hit with the CPU and the GPU, right, and what it can perform. So this is definitely another good testing here result that you guys can see of what bottlenecking or maximizing your hardware's performance to its fullest utilization will look like. So this is, again, great examples here in higher resolutions, and as we move down you'll see the CPU and GPU results kind of peak the lower we get in resolution. So balance quality, right, we're still at 52 frames, which is still completely playable if you want to do ultra settings with everything here. And then if we move down to quality, we're at 42 frames per second at ultra everything, with medium low following it in the low 80s, upwards up to 100 frames in both balance and quality. So that's the 4K results, right? And then I'll go ahead and show you guys some footage here. Not using a capture card just yet. Really wanted to use my camera just to kind of see how this result will go. I'm working on getting a capture card and getting everything squared away there, but I definitely do like seeing the raw performance without adding more software or things like that. Let's move on to the 1440p results here with ray traced on, right? We are seeing over closer to 60 frames consistently at the ultra performance and ultra graphics settings on 1440p with ray traced on. And then you have the averages there in medium and low being over 63 frames, very close to each other. And then moving down to performance levels and balance performance, the numbers in the ultra graphics settings don't really start to dip down until we get to the quality settings right there at 1440p. So performance levels were at 58 in ultra, 54 in ultra and balanced, and in quality we are at 48 frames a second with both medium and low graphics setting, again staying closely to each other, plus minus 10 frames there in that 52 to 63 frame region. Now turning ray traced off is very interesting here as well. So 1440p results at ray traced off with ultra settings at ultra performance here at the top. You can see we're at 86 frames a second. Man, that is really good. And the game definitely does start to kind of get fuzzier as we go down in 1440p. I will either insert a clip or you guys will see that here somewhere in the video, showing, if you guys can see it, kind of how fuzzy it is. But going down to medium and low settings, we're starting to hit that cap that I saw, at least using this combination, being closer to that 99 to 100 and 203 frames a second with dips there throughout, depending on the area that I was in. So performance here at ultra everything we're at 85, right? In balance settings we're at 85 as well. Quality settings we drop down to 80 at ultra, following everything else in the medium to low settings around that 97 frames to 102 frames there. So now we'll move into the 1080p here. So seeing how this game performs in 1440p and 1080p with ray traced on, you're going to see another interesting result here when we turn ray traced off or on. But I really wouldn't go down lower than balanced in the DLSS format, right? Honestly, I wouldn't even go down past quality there in the DLSS format. As you can see here, the frame averages are pretty on par with each other, bouncing between 58 and 59 frames a second in all ultra graphics setting, between ultra performance and DLSS all the way up to quality. And then we're here in the medium to low setting. So if you have a 1080p monitor and you have this set up, I think you're going to be good playing this game for a while, honestly. You can just keep it on quality settings to kind of beef up your system there and use the most of your ray traced quality available in this game using the 3070 Ti. Right? So here we go. If you want higher frame rates, you got a higher refresh rate monitor. Check this out. With ray traced off, we are again closer to that 100 frame mark there that I have captured in this testing and results of the averages, right? So at the ultra performance, we're looking at 101, 102 frames a second on low on all of the DLSS quality settings there. So and again, even at ultra settings with everything on there, you're seeing an average of about 86 frames, 85 frames, give or take, plus one minus on that thing, right? So this again is where the CPU is the limitation, right? So during 1080p testing, I did see a lot more of the utilization being put into the CPU versus the graphics card. And that is with ray traced off versus ray traced on. And I can share those results if you guys want to see them in future videos, but just wanted to make this one here kind of straight to the point and straight to the facts using this current test bench here and showing you guys that you don't need the newest stuff to play your games, right? So hopefully this test result is useful to you guys. And obviously if you have like a 3070 or a 3080 and you're playing in that 1440p resolution, or even, you know, just other games, play around with DLSS and play around with some of your other graphics settings, right? And you can definitely use this hardware that you currently have for a few years. On the other hand, right, if you feel that you're not enjoying your gaming experience as much and you know you want to gain more from it and you got extra cash, then let's say you only have enough for the CPU or the GPU. At this point, I would probably say get a newer CPU versus the graphics card, because once the new 50 series comes out, and depending on when you're watching this video, look at the used market, right? Do your testing, do your research, and see what you can do before you really have to upgrade to a new platform or just switch out different components in your system, right? So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, right? A lot of testing there. Definitely took a lot longer than I realized. This was about 5 to 6 hours of testing there just on that one game. If you guys want to see another deep dive with this same configuration or any other GPUs paired with this combo, I do have other graphics card that I can test with this, and I actually want to put a even older system to the test using the older FX series, right? And see what happens if I pair the 3070 Ti or my 4080 with it. Oh man, that's going to be exciting. So if you guys don't want to miss out on that or any other gaming news or gameplays, you guys know what to do. Subscribe, hit that notification bell icon. It'll help my channel a lot. And of course, liking today's video will show me a lot of support that way too, so I can continue making these types of videos for you guys to watch in the future. And without further ado, you guys know what it is. This is Red Zone signing off, keeping it real, keeping it hot, and keeping it raw. Your normal 9 to 5 guy, bringing some high quality content for you guys to enjoy. I'll see you guys on the next one. Deuces.